Alright, hello everyone. So it's time to talk about Zwei Sinclair as well as Cinq Meursault. Let's start off with Zwei Sinclair because I think that this character here is not going to be very interesting for the Zwei team. And that's because this character here is very slow to gain his tremor count. He gains 3 tremor count, 3 tremor count and 3 tremor count, but he requires 8 tremor count in order to apply the maximum value of this skill tree over here. Furthermore, this character scales a bit similarly to Zwei Ishmael. He needs to have tremor count on himself to gain defense level up. He needs 5 to get 5 defense level up. He does not have defensive stance, so that's one big downside. And he also needs 8 tremor count on himself to gain another 4 defense level up over here to gain 9 defense level up in total, so he can get the coin power plus 1 times 3. So if you can get that, then what happens is that the first coin power is used to become average. You're going to be a 3, 6, 9 plus 4, that's 13, right? That's not going to be very solid. But if you can get coin power plus 1, then you become average. Then you need another plus 2 to become above average, then another plus 3 to become quite decent. So I think this character, just because his skills are below average by default, and okay once you start getting tremor counts on yourself, is going to be quite bad to field him. And the defense level, the defense and the skill 2 and the skill 1 only gain 3 tremor count per turn, so if you're stuck with only one action every single turn, what happens is that you gain 3 but then you minus 1 due to the end of turn effect, and you only gain 2 effectively. So that means you need 4 turns in order to get to the skill 3. You can skip one of the steps here and go to your number 3 instead. On turn 3, you just need to use your skill 1 here, and the skill 1 will give you 2 defense level up next turn, which should compensate for missing out on 2 of this, which means that at 4 tremor count on yourself, you will be able to get the most of the value here. I think you still need 5 tremor count on yourself because of the passive, but yeah, as you can see, it's very wonky here. You need to do a lot of microwing to make sure this character has the required stuff, and the payoff for this skill tree is really not that impressive. 8 tremor count, I can just pop an ego and I will literally get it all. Like if I go to dispensary here, I think the cheapest ego that I can use to apply a bunch of tremor count is just this ego, you know. Like 7 tremor count, okay, I think that's more than enough for a long period of time. And when I use Everlasting Tremor Faust, that literally applies another 10 tremor count, right? So I don't need that much tremor count. So this character here really is just not very interesting for the tremor team. Like I can use egos to compensate for tremor count, or I can use like Ishmael who applies 4 tremor count immediately. I can use Molar if I want, or I can use Zwei Ishmael who doesn't really do a lot of tremor count, but tremor count decays by 1 every single turn, so it's not a very hard status to maintain. So really, this character here, not a very big need for this character in my opinion. And of course, you always have like Ryoshu. You know, Ryoshu has a pretty good tremor count application also if you just want to get some tremor count application going. So yeah, this character not really required. The other part of him, the defense level up giving to other allies, is only 2, and it's to 2 other allies, so it's not a lot either. I don't think it's going to be very relevant. I think the only reason to use him is actually the support passive here, because that gives you 1 haste and 3 defense level up to ally with the lowest HP percentage. If you're playing your tanks correctly, then your tanks are usually the ones getting hit, so they will be the lowest HP percentage and they will be the ones that get this. So this is not bad on Zwei Ishmael and probably much needed on Zwei Gregor because he wants a lot of defense level up. But yeah, pretty much these characters here are pretty this character here is pretty It's generally just for the support skill and nothing else. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this character over here. I don't see myself using this character for any reason, and this character here I don't think has enough text to warrant me actually using him. He only has 1 burst, by the way. Zwei Ishmael has literally 2 bursts because of defensive stance, so it's a very big difference here. Alright, so now let's move on to Cinq Meursault, who I think is actually the most broken unit of this season just by default. Like, this guy can fit into Rupture teams because he has this one line here. And he doesn't even need to be in Rupture teams because he has the coin power line over here. He literally lives in the best of both worlds, where if you throw him in Rupture, he can't do Rupture shenanigans like Deviat. He needs other people to do the count and Rupture potency for him. And then after that, he will get big benefits by not removing your count. So that's very huge for him. But he doesn't even need that shit. All he needs to do is just be faster than his opponent, and he'll gain coin power for speed difference. And he has 4 to 7 speed, which is a very good speed threshold. And his passive gives him 1 haste next turn for every 3 poise potency. And his poise gain is very solid, because skill 1, 3 poise count. Skill 2, 4 poise count and then 2 poise potency. Skill 3 is 5 poise on Clash Win, And if they have focus attack and assault, you gain 5 additional poise. And if you defeat the target, you get to reuse this skill again on a random target. And what happens is that you will be able to trigger this part again. Why? Because if you kill or staggered the part, right, what happens is that focus attack, no longer present, you have to destroy the part. Then what happens is that this focus attack will now split to other slots of that part in the order of deployment. So you get to hit something else, and odds are it's probably going to have this focus attack and assault on it also, so you get additional poise over here. So this character does not need to get 100% crit chance. This character already has 5 poise here, 5 poise here, that's 10 poise. 10 poise is times 5, that's 50% crit chance already. And that's a pretty solid amount to hope for a crit on the third hit here. And you will have quite a bit of poise count build up here with your skill 1 and skill 2 before you go to your skill 3. So this character really easy to get this passive, really easy to get the skill 3, really easy to go faster. And the only thing that he would really love from his teammates is additional Rupture and Rupture count application. If they don't do it, then who gives a shit? This character is still going to have 20% damage here, 30% damage here. He only misses out on this one line here where he can get additional if there's Rupture on the target. Same for skill 2. If he has Rupture on the target, awesome, then he is able to get additional 30% crit damage on this thing over here. Otherwise, he just doesn't give a crap. He literally doesn't give a shit. So yeah, this is a really strong character who does not need anyone but really loves Rupture, just like Devia, pretty much. Okay, so let's talk about the potential of this character. I want you all to first off look at this ego over here. This is the Walpurgis Meursault ego that is very famous. It is Regret Meursault. And basically they had to balance all past IDs on this ego over here. You lose 1 base power and gain 2 coin power for your leftmost skill. So this is quite important because in chain battles you can have 2 slots. In 2 slots, the left one will get the coin power, the right one will not. But doesn't really matter because I told you already, this character has a lot of coin power gain. But this +2 coin power here does make him very beastly in focus encounters, which is what he is a specialist at due to how his passive works. His passive is that as long as he hits a bugger, he is able to gain base clash power at the first stack, base power on the second stack, and base power and coin power on the third stack. So with this plus Regret Meursault in a focus encounter, hitting the same body part and triggering Regret Meursault plus the speed difference and all of this other shit over here, you are going to get so much clashing and coin power. It's actually ridiculous how high he can potentially roll. So let's talk about all conditions met, alright? You have hit this guy like multiple times, you've built up your poise, you've built up your speed, you're ready to just like get all the coin power possible. You're hitting a 1 speed target, you're always rolling like 7 speed, 8 speed, 9 speed, for example. Alright, so let's assume all those conditions are met. Let's look at this skill tree over here. Right, starting off with the coin power +1 for every 2 speed difference, maximum of 3, you get a +3 here. Regret Meursault gives you +2. And then Focus Attack Meursault gives you +1. So that's a total of 6 coin power, making these into 10s. 10, 20, 30. And then what happens with the base power? The base power gets -1 from Regret, because Regret Meursault -1 your base power, but gives you 2 coin power. And then what happens is you get base power +1, and then base power +1. So you change from -1 base to +1 base, because why the hell not? Now you get 36 in total. 36 on a skill tree with scaling, with damage shit, with reuse if you kill or break the part. You have to kill the part. It has to not be there. So yeah, this is just a ridiculous amount of coin power stacking. And assuming you just -1 of it, right, it still just becomes 9. So it's 9, 18, 27, 27 plus 5. Let's assume we didn't get all of this. 4. So 27 plus 4, that's 31 still. So that is literally rip space. Rip space without focus attack. If you have this, then even better, you just become superior rip space. You go to like multi-crack files at +4 coin power pretty much. This is absolutely ridiculous and a very strong, solid character to use, really. Okay, now we have the skill 2 here. This is going to be +1 coin power here, +2 coin power, and then +1 from your passive. So you have a +4 in total, and that +4 is going to be 8, 16, 24. Wait, did I do the math? Yeah, 34, and then you're gonna have a 5 here. 24 plus 5 is 29. So 29 on the skill 2. You minus the 1 coin power maybe, then what happens is that you just get a 7, 14, 21 plus 3, that's going to be a 24. That's still very, very good. Like, that's literally a leap from Ryoshu, or I think better than a leap from Ryoshu pretty much. Like, it's super, super good, even if you lose the coin power and shit. Then the skill 1 is just... yeah, you can just do the math yourself. I'm done doing the math. My head hurts. I've been streaming for quite a while already. But this character here, you get the picture. You just need to be faster. Being faster is easy. Just get poise potency. Hitting people, you're able to get clash power, base power. Just hit the same target. And then you just use your skill tree when you're ready to cash out or try to get a bunch of poise potency on yourself so you can start scaling the future fights. Because in chain battles, you really have a lot of time to go and do this stuff over here. Alright. So pretty much, I don't need to explain this character anymore. It's just a character that wants to be fast. That's the most important part. If you are fast and you have Regret Assault, then you are able to get the easy wins with the clashes. You get the poise counts over here, you get the skill tree poise potency, you get the kills, you get to get more of this shit again, you get more damage output. If you don't have Rupture, who gives a shit? If you have Rupture, awesome, this character becomes super broken. Alright, that's it for this character. Really, really freaking strong. By the way, his defense for some reason has coin power also. So you have a 16 dodge on this character. There's no reason to lose any clash with this character unless you're going to Mirror Dungeon 5. Like, that's the only way you can possibly lose a clash. You have to go to Mirror Dungeon 5, and then you need to take so much coin power that you cannot out coin power the opponent. That's the only way you lose. Because I'm pretty sure a 30-something still wins people like the Bull and all these like other big clashing attacks. Like, this character is absolutely disgusting. So now let's move on to the team comps pretty much. Let's start off with the more brainless one. This is literally every single UngaBunga ID in the game. Take your pick of any 6 of them and you pretty much roll through any story mode in the game. It is very, very strong to just do any of this stuff over here. He prefers single target battles, but it doesn't really matter because his damage output outside of single target battles is still going to be very, very strong. And you can just mix and match your favorites, your waifus, your favorite 2-star units or whatever, just mix and match and he will always fit into any team comp in the game. This is absolutely a beastly combination. I think for Assault, right, he doesn't really have any other competition except for Blade Lineage and Assault, which I saw some people asking, is Blade Lineage Assault better than this Cinq Meursault? The answer is no, unless you are planning to always lose You My Flesh, then you'll be able to even match this Meursault over here. But pretty much these two, right, this one is core for poise teams. If you are running a Blade Lineage poise like Yisang, Faust or any of the other buggers, then you need this one here to make them really, really good. But if you don't have them, then you just use this one, because this one is just be faster than your opponent. That's it. Like, that's all you need for this character to work. And the Regret Assault feeding, if you throw him into a Rupture team, you can easily get the Wrath. Because the 7 association, they will give you a lot of Wrath, or you can throw him with any other people who have some sort of Wrath skill. Like maybe Earl King Heathcliff, Wrath skill 1, Rabbit Heathcliff, Wrath skill 1. Like, you can get the Wrath required for Regret Assault very, very easily. So yeah, this character just so much more convenient and easier, and you're paying the Regret Assault tax to make him from strong to giga strong, which is the big selling point of this character over here. Alright, moving on to Rupture. In a Rupture team comp, the Wrath sources is going to mainly come from these 2 characters over here, and the guard skill for this guy is also going to be a Wrath skill. So really you can get yourself a bunch of Wrath from just using this character and this character over here, and that will be enough to feed your Regret Assault. My 6-man team for Rupture is going to be this. Alright, Talisman Sinclair is going to be on the bench, and the rest of these characters here are not super important. Like, you don't really need them, you just use them for the passives pretty much, or you use them as backup characters in case they die in combat, right? But the main reason Talisman is on the bench now is because now that I'm able to force Gluttony Resonance with a bunch of clashers that I'm actually happy to use. Talisman Sinclair, by the way, has horrendous clashing power, and using him was a huge pain in the ass because you also need to micro his actual skills to make sure you have 5 talismans so that you can give 5 talismans to your opponent. If you don't have the exact number, then it's going to be very, very awkward. But pretty much, now that I can use the support passive, 4 times resonance to give the highest HP ally this talisman here, and the highest HP is usually going to be her or her, that is a very, very, very good. That means that these 2 characters can take the hit, they can apply additional potency of Rupture on every single hit, and to get Gluttony Resonance is actually very easy. Skill 2 Gluttony, Skill 1 Guard Skill Legend Domain, Skill 1 Guard Skill, Skill 3 and Guard Skill, and then for these 2 characters is the Skill 3. For Heathcliff, if you do want more consistency in getting the Gluttony from him, you can actually run Holiday. Because Holiday is a Gluttony skill, and you do generate a lot of Glut plus Envy in this team comp here. So this is just a consideration if you do want to easily get the Gluttony Resonance every single time when you want it. If you don't care about that, then feel free to take your body sack instead. But I think Holiday actually has a purpose now. It is a 25 rolling ego compared to this one, which is a 24 rolling ego, so it's still pretty solid at clashing. It's just that you can get the Gluttony Res a lot easier, and guess what? Gluttony Resonance! Hey, we found the purpose for Holiday Heathcliff at last. I legit think I'll be using this ego. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna uptie this thing here, because I actually really believe that this ego, I'm going to use it quite a bit in the Rupture Team comp, just for Gluttony Resonance, really. Alright. So, that's pretty much all I have to say for the Rupture Team comp. I'll talk about the Holiday in the future after I've done some testing, but pretty much now your Rupture Team is going to be 3 good clashers here. You never have to worry about these 3 people clashing, because they will have a lot of good coin power gains from their own sources, and they are in exchange not going to be the best Rupture appliers, right? 7 Association Faust is the only one, because she has the unique Clash Win inflict Rupture count, so she will compensate for any Rupture that she consumes by applying it again. But these 2 characters here legit don't really have a lot of sources of Rupture application. For Meursault, the only source is this one over here, and for Deviat, the only source is the skill tree over here, where she inflicts +3 Rupture count. So besides these 2 only having 1 source of Rupture count, they have basically none. So you need to compensate by having another 3 characters who have very, very good Rupture count application, which is this character here, this character here, and this character here. All have positive sources of Rupture count, and of course you need your ADD Gregor. ADD Gregor will give you the Spark Discharge, so that Gloom skills from these characters will be able to refund the charge count, which is very, very important. And guess what? He does have a skill tree that has Gloom on it, so it is a very, very solid choice for the team comp. And then this character is Gloom skill 2. This character has no Gloom at all, so she will never ever trigger ADD Gregor, which is fine honestly. But you can always do like this guy, no Gloom skill either, but has decent count application. And then this one is good application and Gloom skill, very, very nice. And then he himself has a Gloom skill with application of Rupture potency. Yeah, but only if you hit the tremor count over here. But doesn't really matter. The ADD Gregor thing here will compensate. Alright, so that's it for the Rupture Team comp. I tried it just now, only with an uptie 3 Meursault, so I did not even get the full power, and he still did top damage. And I didn't even give him first slot, by the way. I gave him the 5th slot, because I got the Ego gift that gives you more damage when you are faster than your opponent. So he is not going to have the additional +1 slot advantage, but it's still a very, very strong character no matter what. Uptie 3, uptie 4, just use him, please. Very, very good unit. And if you don't have Regret Meursault, no fear. He still naturally is going to roll very, very high. +3 coin power, plus maybe his passive if you're hitting the boss, then you'll be able to get what, 8 already, you know? You don't have to get a 10, just get 8 is already very, very strong. 8, 16, 24, 24 plus 5, 29. Holy shit, you're rolling a 29 at base. Like, oh my god, character is ridiculous. Okay, so that's enough simping for Meursault. Okay, wait, one more. His drip. His drip is so damn good, and his animations are so good. You have to get this character. Plus, he's a Season 5 character, so he will appear in this one over here. So, absolutely a must get. You will really regret not having him, and you will also regret not having Regret Meursault, because that plus him is very, very, very good. Alright, okay, now I'm truly done. Okay, that's it guys. If I missed anything from this video, feel free to just add it in the comment section. And thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.